Hi everyone, welcome to this week's Karma Cards. So as we've been talking about in the last few episodes, we are in the middle of probably the biggest healing cycle that humanity has gone through, at least in this long stretch of time that we've been in. Huge healing cycle. And last Monday, we had a very potent full moon in Scorpio. And the messages that were coming through and the energy that was coming through on that day was off the charts amazing. They want to remind us, the team wants to remind us that we're in the messy middle of the healing cycle. And they ask us not to judge what the ending will be like based on the middle. And when they said this, it reminded me of the painting process. So I'm also a painter. And I can't tell you how many times I get to the middle of a painting and I'm about to throw in the towel. So I call it the ugly teenager phase or the ugly duckling phase, but it's that middle portion of a creation where, so at the start, right, you have your idea, you have a goal, you have a vision, and you start working out that vision like on the canvas or on paper, and it feels good. Like it's, yes, I captured the image and now I'm going to go in and fill it. And then you start putting in the base layers of the painting and oh my, it goes from being really optimistic into what have I done? And many artists can relate to this. It's almost like you're ready to give up and throw in the towel because that middle portion looks nothing like where you started, and it certainly is not going to look anything like the end. And because I've done it enough times, I understand this now, and I still stress out, but not as much as I used to. I used to abandon pieces in the middle before I really got the hang of this, that after this part, it gets a lot easier. Well, going through this healing cycle, we're in that same place right now. We're in the messy middle. So the challenges that we're dealing with in this moment are here to serve our highest good. We are in what's called a zeroing out of karmic debt. So all karmic debt right now is getting zeroed out. So that's why we're seeing things coming up from our past. We're seeing the return of issues that we haven't fully dealt with. These things are coming back. We might be repeating a pattern or a cycle that we've been through before. And that can be very intimidating. And even a little bit scary, actually, while we're going through it, because it's like, oh my gosh, didn't I get this already? Haven't I figured this out? Why do I keep attracting this into my life? Why am I attracting the same person or the same situations or the scenarios? Or, you're going to become more aware of your thinking patterns around these things, about your belief system around these things. And it's very easy to fall into the trap of thinking, oh my God, here I am again. I am stuck with this. This is always going to be a part of my life. And I want to reassure you that no, it's not. It's here to heal it. And I really, truly feel in my bones that because we're in this karmic debt zeroing out phase, it's not going until we figure it out. Our individual challenges, our individual karmic things, as well as collectively. It's not going to go anywhere until we figure it out, which can sound intimidating, but I actually find it a little bit reassuring. Like, this is it. This is it. This is the time to finally figure this out and slay this dragon. The beautiful thing that came with the full moon messages, so they talk about the messy middle, but they did give us a hint about the end. And it was so positive. They kept reinforcing in many different ways the beauty of what is to come. They were talking about positive outcomes, that success is assured, that in fact they asked us to expect the very best. Expect the very best. And I know that it can be a little intimidating to focus on that when you're in a messy middle, right? It can be like can sound like hopium, which is, the new word going around, hopium, to expect the very best, but they say that's how you create it. You must decide. You must decide. If you want to see the very best, expect it, right? Expect a miracle. Expect good things to happen. Expect resolution. So, and they reminded us too, and I really loved this one. As they said, expect the best, make it a mantra. They also talked about the fact that words are spells. And we know this. We do. We know that words are spells, and yet we're still, we still need to really tune in and listen to, the words that we're speaking, especially about our personal life. Like, we've got to get in front of that now. Because our manifesting ability as we ascend in this energy, it's getting stronger and stronger. It's faster, right? You've probably noticed this in your own life, that you've said something and it shows up quite quickly now. So we really want to think about, how am I talking about my own life? How am I talking about what I'm going through? Again, they're bringing up the problem solution, right? They're still asking us, hey, are you focused on the problem or are you focused on the solution? It's time to start focusing on the solution, to talk about the solution, and to expect that solution rather than waiting for proof, which is old paradigm patterning, right? Waiting for proof comes from a very particle material based existence, which is okay. I mean, that's what we came from. That's okay. But that's that, in doubt until I see the proof. And that again comes from this, it can be a very deep hidden belief, but it comes from this maybe subconscious belief that the things that I want, the things that are going to be in my life are created externally. Something else is creating it and I just have to find it. So there's a separation between your thought and what you receive. So people who are seeking proof, who don't think that they have any say in this, are disconnected from the fact that they're creating their reality. So to really move into this place of you're the creator of your reality, it's time to manifest correctly, right? And to put it simply, to manifest correctly is to think it into being. Right? Expect it, decide it into being. That only then will it appear, right? So if we're still waiting for proof, what we're actually saying is, I'm waiting for somebody else or something else to manifest for me. And that's not how it works, because we are the creator. We are the creator beings. We are made in the image of the creator, which means we can create in this world. So they remind us, words are spells. And the message the team has this week for you in regards to all of this is they want you to know you're already doing it. Like, they have been hitting me over the head with this one, and they're like, share that message, share it loud. You're already doing it. So if you're like, oh my God, words are spells, I gotta think about what I'm thinking and then create it, and then remember it's the middle and the end is good, and like you're overthinking, right? We're caught up in this overthinking because we have a very sharpened awareness now that something's up, something's going on. We all feel the changes. Depends on the level to which you're tuned into that you can really hone in on it, but nevertheless humanity feels it. And I know a lot of really beautiful souls who really want to get this right. How many people really want to get this right, really don't want to mess this up? Like, you feel it's this big opportunity and this chance. And so you're trying to remember like every single tool you have, right? They're saying you're already doing it. So they're asking us to let go, if we can, the overthinking. You can let that go. You can let go of trying so hard, right? So I caught myself doing this last weekend. I was looking at a few classes. I love classes, by the way. Like, I'm kind of addicted to taking classes. I love to learn. I'm a little sponge and I want more. And when I was approaching these classes, I was like, well, what do I still don't have? What are the things I'm still not having in my toolbox? I know there's something else, right? In my head, I'm like, there's something else. Maybe if I got that, then something else would unlock for me. And so I was using my cards and asking my team, okay, what do you think about this one? What do you think about this one? And they were giving me yes, no on things. And finally, I was just like, any words of advice, team? I pulled out this card and they're like, you got all the tools already. Like, you don't need to try any harder. It's a done deal. Just use the tools that you have. Everything's there. Your journey is, success is assured on this journey. Just be on it now. Like, relax into this. Everything that you need in any upcoming moment will be available to you. That's how it works, right? The only reason we can't sense what's available to us is because either we're being blocked by stress, anxiety, or fear, right? Well, if those are lifted, if we're out of that state and we're in that calm, centered place, the answer's with you the whole time. So I kind of giggled about that because I'm like, you're right. I'm trying to make this happen. I'm really kind of pushing a little bit. I want to speed up the process because I don't know about you, but I'd like to be through this. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm trying to pass the finish line maybe before the finish line is even here yet. So they said to me, well, Therese, that the need to rush comes from the ego making a comparison to someone else's journey. And I was like, you're right. I've got to stop doing that because many times when we feel kind of at a loss, like we're not sure if we're going in the right direction or we don't feel things are happening, it can be really easy to look around and be like, okay, what's so-and-so doing? Like, how are they handling this? Knowing that everybody's going through it with us, right? So we're looking around. And we will find people who appear to be several steps ahead of us, have some stuff that we want to get figured out ourselves. They'll have it figured out and we'll be like, oh my God, if that's where they are and I'm over here, well then I've got to hurry up and get maybe no more tools, right? Or I've got to do something completely different. I've got to shake it up. This might not be working. And they're encouraging us to quell those thoughts, like pay attention when they come up and go, right, I've got everything I need in this moment. This is my journey. It looks like this for me. I can't say anything about that person's journey because I'm not on it. I can only assume things about it, which helps us to let go and just calm down and recognize that if it was a tool you were supposed to have right now, you'd already have it. So you're not given any situation, you're not given anything that you've created in your life that might become like karma for you, good or bad, was created by you with what you already have. Therefore, the resolution or solution to that situation is also already with you. So again, the messages right now are recognize you're already doing it. You're in the middle. So you've been doing it this whole time. If you want to adjust the thinking that's still coming up for us. Adjust the thinking into the positive, like really focus future oriented. Again, so we'll talk more about this in other episodes, but we really want to be future oriented in our thoughts about how things are working out, because many times we make snap decisions about a situation we're in based on the past. And that all that does is regurgitate the past behavior, the past patterns, the past attitudes, the past reactions or responses. If we're looking at the past for an answer, we are also calling in the past. And that's what we're trying to heal now. We're trying to learn from it. And then anything that doesn't serve us anymore, we are letting go. We are surrendering those things. So when we're looking at where is this going? How's it going to turn out? We need to really put the past in the past and keep it there and think about, if I'm expecting the best and I'm looking at a certain situation in my life, well, this is what I want to have happen. So that's what's going to happen. Now, please, universe, God, guides, give me the awareness, give me the tools, or remind me of my tools that will get me there, because that's where I'm going, right? We are doing that. You're going to be fine. It's going to be better than fine. It's going to be a guaranteed success. Okay? All right. So with that, let's do some karma cards. All right, let me get these organized here. All right, so for those who are new to karma cards, let me show you how these work. I have 3 decks here: planets, signs of the zodiac, and houses of astrology. And I've already asked my team in spirit, team, what is the message you have for us this week? And they've given me 2 sets of answers. In red are action and blue are outcome. And the way that you play is you just tune into yourself intuitively and decide, what do I need right now? Do I need action-related answers, or do I want to know some outcomes? And of course, if you want to choose both, you can always choose both. While you're intuitively deciding what you're looking for, let me tell you the timing of this reading. So this reading is for today, April 28th through May 5th. And the flavor of this reading, we have the moon in the sign of Leo, which is all about personal sovereignty, in the 12th house, which is about the subconscious mind, which is interesting because going back to what I just said, right, about those deep held beliefs that somebody else might be creating something for us. So we're going to wait for proof. So I'm interested to see what the cards say about this. Right. For those who are choosing action, your spiritual action at this time, defend leadership, seeking oneness with all there is. Defend leadership, seeking oneness with all there is. So leadership comes from the card of Leo. And what I really get from that, leadership is the same as there's sovereignty, right? You're in charge. Defend your sovereignty, seeking the oneness with all that is. This sovereignty has been granted to you as a being of the universe. All beings are sovereign, right? So we're being asked to really defend that. And I mean, this one really makes sense with things going on in the external world. So take that in as you will. But you are a sovereign being. You are the creator being. You are already one with all that is. And you are made in that image as well. Defend that. You're creating this reality. Do not let someone fool you into thinking that they have control over what happens to you. It is 100% your choice and 100% in your hands. So it's time to, it's time to decide and to defend, protect that for sure. All right. Mental action. Accept the creativeness of philanthropy. That's an odd one. Accept the creativeness of philanthropy. So philanthropy, right, is that giving. It's, the giving to others, the sharing. It's the path of service to others. Right. And in this time period where we are all working with zeroing out that karmic debt, I want you to continue to remember that the work that you do on yourself, it is philanthropy. Okay, the more healed, whole, healthy people on the planet, the better for everybody, right? Those healed, whole, and healthy people, we will be able to guide other people. It'll come in waves. It is coming in waves. It already is. So that need to be of service to other people, which can really, it's so beautiful because it's a very high ideal. And remember, it can kind of foreshadow the work you have to do. It's so important to remember that the work you do on yourself is directly connected to that as well. The physical action at this time, let your feelings tell you how to do what you want to and keep your involvement hidden. That comes from the 12th house. So the 12th house is also about secrets. It's about the subconscious mind, secrets. It's also about karma. Karma's in there as well. Let your feelings tell you how to do what you want to, and keep your involvement hidden. I have to say, this one is a little bit, like, it doesn't make sense with the rest to me yet. So let me talk about the first two parts. Let your feelings tell you how to do what you want to. So this is interesting because you're going to want to use that heart-centered compass, right? Feelings around, how you're going to do what you do. And what we want to pay attention to is what comes up, and we still want to practice questioning it, because sometimes the things that are the very best for us, and you always know, by the way, I want to just add to this, you always know what's the very best thing for you, even if it doesn't come with great feelings. Meaning, let's say you have to have a difficult conversation with someone, and you know this is the best thing to do because it would clear the air, everyone would be on the same page, and things could move forward however they need to based on the conversation, right? That difficult or uncomfortable conversation doesn't necessarily come with sparkly, happy, rainbow feelings. It can come with dread, right? I don't want to have this conversation. But with that feeling is always that knowing that this is this is the right thing to do. We always know what the right thing to do is. And so, doing what we want and doing the right thing, I really feel these are starting to merge more. The higher we go in frequency, right? The higher we go in density, we are refining our consciousness. And, you want to think about your frequency moving through your chakra points. Okay, we're going to start at the earth chakra points, the lower chakras, the physical plane. And down there, you can actually mess with truth. Truth can be effed with down in the lower three chakras, which is why these are the three that are the most manipulated by negative groups, negative entities, those who wish to control. They really work on the lower three. Once you get up to the heart, this is where that kind of controlling manipulation and hiding of the truth really can't happen. Once you get into the heart chakra, we're getting closer to truth. It can be colored, the truth can be colored by a lot of love and compassion in the heart chakra, but we're getting closer. Now, when we get to the throat chakra, and by the way, remember, these are all connected to certain densities of vibration of consciousness, okay? So I'm not just talking about our energy centers, I'm also talking about that bigger picture when we're moving up in consciousness octaves. So when we move into the throat, this is where real truth lives. And isn't it interesting that when the truth comes out, when we finally hear the truth, it's spoken, right? Comes out of here. This cannot be manipulated by a negative entity. This cannot be manipulated. These and above, from the heart above, can't be manipulated. The truth comes out there. So what we want to do is we want to tune into our body, and when we're looking at, letting our feelings tell us, what do you want? Well, I want peace. And maybe I want peace with a specific person. And again, if you think that thought and that there's a difficult conversation, that's going to come up. The feelings are going to come up around it that make you feel like, I don't want to do this. Those are important to identify, but we also want to know that the truth, or our personal truth, what we truly want, is right behind that. We always know the right thing to do. That's what I was trying to get to. So in the lower three chakras, when our consciousness is down in these lower areas, again, the right thing to do can be manipulated and obscured. And in the past, for many people, there was a lot of confusion around it. Not because it wasn't obvious what the right thing to do is, but there was always something to justify why it's okay to not do that. As we move up in frequency, these areas, this consciousness can't be manipulated. And so the right thing to do, crystal clear for all of us. So let your feelings tell you how to do what you want, and keep your involvement hidden. I feel like, again, this is, when it says keep your involvement hidden, in this case, this is all internal work. right? So this is something that you're doing for yourself, by yourself, rather than trying to guide someone else through it. This is very personal part. This is the part that we're all individually doing. Only we ourselves can know what's right for each one of us. And this is where this understanding of multi-perspective, multi-reality really helps, because what is the right thing to do for you is absolutely the right thing to do for you, but it might not resonate or jive with anybody else. And while people keep going around trying to tell people how to behave, that I look forward to that simmering down. It's simmered down a bit, which is good. I'm excited for it to continue to quell out. No one else can tell you what is right for you. And it is a deep feeling, right? So this is where it gets confusing. So much compassion to people who just want to share. They're like, no, I figured it out. This is the right thing to do. They want to share that. I truly believe there's good intention there. However, what's right for one person can be horribly wrong for another, and vice versa. And so we've got to learn to trust ourselves more. Number one, if we're listening to what feels right to us, if we're listening for the right thing to do, and we're trusting ourselves and taking that action, I feel like that's naturally going to lead to trusting others to do the same for themselves. And again, the more people who take up this work, who are really listening to themselves and really following that internal compass, the less likely we're going to see these people trying to control the outside world. You don't need to control the outside world when you feel in control of yourself, right? So again, right for you. That's it. And everybody else can figure it out for themselves too. Okay, let's look at outcomes. All right, so for those who are choosing outcomes in the moon, in the Leo, in the 12th house, the spiritual outcome is the nurturing of self-confidence to create your faith. Like it. The nurturing of self-confidence to create your faith. This is so interesting because faith is the opposite, I feel, of proof, right? It's the opposite of proof. It's the thing that when you say, I expect the very best, that's faith. I don't know how this all works out in my favor, but I know it does. That's faith, right? So we're receiving nurturing of self-confidence. And self-confidence, this is such an interesting topic. I actually wrote a book about it. It's called Confidence is Magic. And I wrote it not because I'm the expert at confidence, but because I recognize that every time I have had success in personal growth in my life, success in my business, success anywhere I've had success, self-confidence showed up. Now, I don't claim to be like I don't feel like I'm a hyper confident person. In fact, many times I struggle with self-doubt myself. However, when I believe, right, when I just go all in to like, this is what feels right, this is what I'm going to do, and I trust the outcomes. I trust where my heart is guiding me. Self-confidence naturally builds up. So it's that listening to the right thing for you builds your self-confidence back up. And what does that do? It only increases your faith, because that's evidence right there. I listened, I followed the guidance, I feel good, I believe, right? There it is. The mental outcome at this time, feelings caused by taking a chance on hidden tendencies. Right? So that's the moon. The moon's all about the feelings. That's why it's going to keep talking about these feelings caused by taking a chance on hidden tendencies. And again, I feel like this is still that the internal listening, right? So it kind of goes along with the feeling for what's right, or listening to what's right inside. Here's what's interesting about the hidden tendencies. And I was talking a little bit about this at the last Spirit Circle. All the things that you love about yourself, right? They're floating around inside of you. I like to imagine my heart chakra. I like to see a courtyard, a beautiful courtyard around this incredible temple in the middle. And all of these beings are kind of walking around the courtyard, checking it out. All the things you love about yourself are there. All the things that you wish you had are there. And all the things that you try to reject about yourself are also there. So when I read this, feelings caused by taking a chance on hidden tendencies, remember when I was just talking about self-confidence and I'm like, I don't really identify as confident. I am a confident person. It's in me. It's there. I don't always activate it. And I haven't fully claimed it. Something I'm working on. That's why I wrote a book for myself. I wrote a book and published it so that I could remember I'm confident. Oh, so I could remember I'm confident and remind you at the same time. Okay? These are hidden tendencies. The things, so I want you to, let's strip it away and let me make it clearer right now. You already accept some things about yourself. You're super awesome at things. You've got some qualities that you're like, yep, I'm strong, or yep, I'm flexible, or yes, I am kind-hearted, I'm generous, right? These are things that you may already accept about yourself. But there's also things in there that you really, there's qualities that you yearn for, right? Maybe being more put together, maybe being more articulate, maybe being more confident, maybe having strong boundaries, maybe feeling brave. All of the things that I want you to take a moment, actually, just think about that. What are some things, some qualities, some ways of being that you really, you're like, I want that for me, and I don't have it. You do have it. It's dormant because it's not accepted. It's not fully integrated. We've got everything. You got everything. You got every tool you could possibly want. You actually have it, but not everything is activated. It's not online and it's not being used, or it gets used very sporadically. Those are the hidden tendencies. Take a chance on that. What I want you to think about a quality of being that maybe you really admire in someone else, or you've just always, you're like, man, if I could figure that out, if I had that, right? Then things would start feeling like they're going my way. They go better, or it would be easier. There's something, at least one thing that you're like, oh, I wish I had that. Take a chance on the fact that it's already there. So how do you do that? What I like to do is I like to visualize, like I said, the courtyard of my heart. I see these beings milling around, and I see, let's say, confidence, their self-confidence right there. Genuine self-confidence. And I see her, and she's, looking very confident, but not in a smug way. She's looking very confident. And I would then, in my visualization, go up to her, greet her, tell her how excited I am to see her, and embrace her. I would pull her into me until I feel I am one with this element. And it's going to feel amazing. It's going to feel amazing to let that into your heart. And that's all you need to do to start it, right? But the more that you accept this about words or spells, I accept I'm confident, right? The self-deprecating humor, which is one of those things that I definitely employ, right? So self-deprecating, you sort of put yourself down to, sort of diffuse your own feelings, maybe your own insecurity. You use self-deprecating humor. If you do that too, we got to be better. Like we need to really consider, is this helping me? It might make you feel like it might diffuse the moment for you where you're, having heightened feelings of embarrassment or feeling lack of some sort, and it might in the moment help you. But if you're constantly putting yourself down, even just in a humorous way, right? We're not being conscious. In fact, in this reading, I can call myself out now, like they said, words or spells. I wrote a book on confidence. I'm talking to you on camera. I am publishing it to YouTube, and I'm still not accepting fully yet. I'm doing this live with you or recorded with you. I still don't fully accept the confidence yet. I don't know why I continue to like just kind of edge off of it because, it's interesting, right? So I keep spelling a separation between me and this trait. So what I'm going to work on is I'm going to work on noticing when I do that. I'm going to go easy on myself. I don't expect a 100-degree turnaround, just be like 180, that's what I meant. A 180 turnaround, like, well, yep, now I've got it and my posture is better and, right, it's easier to talk to people or whatever. And I'm not going to put that on myself. What I'm going to do is catch it. And if I catch it, I would immediately say, so if I said something like, I'm not as confident a person, or I don't have full confidence, if I said something like that, I would cancel that statement by saying, I actually am confident. I'm confident right now. And I grow in confidence every day. See, that's how you do it. It's a little bit at a time that you're catching yourself. And again, it takes the time it takes. We're in the middle of it. So you're going to mess up. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to say things about yourself that sort of shoot yourself in the foot. And it's all going to be okay because you're also going to catch it. Even if you have to do it in the middle of a YouTube video. So things are good. They're going in the right direction. So now let's get to physical outcome. Reactions resulting from the impressiveness of large institutions or overwhelming events. So this line always feels slightly prophetic to me. It feels like it's definitely alluding to bigger events than personal life. So again, large institutions and overwhelming events are part of the 12th house. It's like what you don't see, right? So large institutions, you don't see how they operate. We actually don't know how they operate. We assume a lot and we tend to buy their marketing plan, but we actually don't know how these things operate. And overwhelming events, this is something, again, that's outside of the sphere of we don't know when it's going to come. You can think of an overwhelming event that's happened in your life and you didn't see it coming. And that's related to the 12th house. So reactions resulting from the impressiveness of large institutions or overwhelming events. So I just, big things are coming. Big events are on the horizon. You still want to do the personal work. Remember, it's a messy middle. So if these big events seem intimidating or even scary, don't fall for it. Don't buy it. Don't buy all the way in. Remember, it's the messy middle. It has nothing to do with how things end. I'm putting this out there. I try not to do anything too predictive because I also try not to, create hopes or expectations. There's nothing that I want to, there's no way would I want to create fear or panic because I actually don't have that. I don't have that about the future. I have good feelings. And yet I know because we're in this time, especially right now where Saturn is very active, that we have a lot of work to do, right? So we're in the middle of the work, which is what I keep trying to remind people. There are some bigger events coming. And there's nothing to be afraid of. Nothing. Absolutely nothing to be afraid of. It can be as overwhelming as it wants to present itself as. Yet, I would not get too invested in the presentation. There's always something behind it, right? There's always something behind it. Don't get overwhelmed by this. And know what I've already said is that success is assured. The ending is positive, and expect the very best. And I really believe this. I do. I feel it in my bones. I feel very good things. I feel especially, I'll just say this, because I do talk to people predictively, but I don't talk to predictively on my channel. I think there's a lot of great people you can follow who do talk predictively. I will say this, June, especially the end of June, feels really good. Like something major lifts and feels a lot better. And I feel a warmth coming from that month. And I don't mean just like a heat, but I mean like an internal warmth. People are glowing more. And then from June on, I do feel like things start to get better. Now, that's just what I'm getting intuitively. But I do feel like if you keep focusing on yourself, if you keep focusing on your work, if you separate a little bit from the outside world and really think about, what do I want? What do I want to see? What do I want to make? What do I want to activate? Then you're doing the work that has a positive impact on the collective. And the more and more of us doing that, it's like this beautiful energy that helps us all transcend any kind of turmoil. Any kind of turmoil can be transcended through this. And it helps you have this like perspective on what's happening. It helps you see behind it. Never take anything right now at face value. Nothing is what it is at face value right now. You really want to step back and just observe and watch and kind of enjoy the show and go, okay, well, that's interesting. That's a twist, right? Just have that perspective and again, focusing in on you, focus on doing what's right for you. And find those parts of you that you want to activate. Recognize you have them, and it's time to turn those parts on. You have it. You're already doing it, and it's going to turn out beautiful. So with that, I want to send you so much love and appreciation. Thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe and share if you want to. In the meantime, I'm sending you so much love and appreciation. Mwah. Stay magical. Thank you for watching. Subscribe now and hit the notification bell so that you know the next time I release a new video. Until then, stay magical.